Here we go. Hey, my name is Kayla Collett. I'm the interim president for the Epilepsy of Davidson County, and this is our weekly meeting. Good? Good. Your turn.
Hi, I'm Peggy Mitchell. I am the interim vice president of the Davidson County Epilepsy Group. We'd like to welcome you to our weekly meeting. We meet every Thursday, either here at the photo shop place, Timmy's photo shop place, or at Paul's Chapel every Thursday night at 6 o'clock. So to get our meeting started, we're going to ask Caleb some questions concerning how it affects her life, her family, and people around her with the epilepsy. So Caleb, how does having a child with the epilepsy and being a young child affect you, your family, your marriage,
Everything.
the whole 9 yards?
It affects a lot. We have to worry about him at school. We have to worry about him when he's asleep. He can't go, he's 6 years old and he can't go play by himself. He can't ride a bike. He can't enjoy playing in the bathtub like normal kids do, taking bubble baths. He can't do that unless we can sit right beside him, which unfortunately a lot of times we don't have time to do because we do have another child. So he misses out on stuff like that. He can't play the sports he wants to just because we do have to protect his brain. We worry about him at school. Childcare is outrageous for him because we can't have him in just any daycare. They have to be trained in seizure first aid. They have to know how to give rescue medication, CPR. So it goes just above basic childcare, which costs a lot. It puts a strain on my husband and I, just so much stress. And we both worry for him constantly, and then we get upset with each other when we're not really upset with each other. We're just stressed and tired and trying to figure it all out. It's taken an effect on my mental health. It's made my depression and anxiety skyrocket. I had a pretty good hold on all of it until my son was diagnosed with epilepsy and the seizures started, and it's just tanked since then. As far as employment goes, I really can't work a full-time job because Luke has epilepsy, but he's also intellectually disabled. So we have a whole lot of therapies, a whole lot of doctor's appointments. He has probably 6 specialists we see total. He does therapy weekly. He's going to start 2 more therapies. We have to see like neuro, and now we're going to see a neurogeneticist, and then we're going to see a hepatologist, and it just adds and adds and adds and adds. That's pretty much it.
Well, how does it affect your daughter? You have to
Yeah,
spend as much time
so
with your son.
with Jalen, it has affected her, and we really try for it not to. We try to do things just with her, but a lot of our time and attention is taken away because we have hospital stays with Luke, the doctor appointments. He just requires so much more time and attention. She has experienced bullying because of her little brother. He gets bullied sometimes. And now she has almost PTSD, I would say, because she even told me that every time she hears the school intercom come on, that she almost wants to cry and throw up because she's scared they'll call another code blue for her little brother, and she's scared he's going to die. So she's dealt with it a lot. Sorry.
Do you feel like the schools are equipped enough to deal with your son and Jalen if something like this was to happen?
I feel like they have really good intentions. They are at a really good school. They don't have the education they need. They don't have the resources given to them to get the education. Like at Luke's kindergarten graduation, he was having an absence seizure standing up on a pedestal right in front of the teachers, and they didn't notice it. And honestly, I wouldn't have noticed it either had I not known what I was looking for. So they need a whole lot more education. They really do. And then to deal with Jalen, if she were to start freaking out, to handle Luke, they don't have it, and they need it.
And the schools, are they proper, will they administer his medicine properly? Do you feel like they will?
They will. So in Davidson County, the SAMS law was passed. His principal even called me today to make sure that I had everything I needed so that his rescue meds would be available to him first day of school ahead. So that way, first day of school, we didn't have to worry about him not getting to come because he can't stay at school without rescue meds. So she called to make sure that I had everything I needed for them to keep his rescue meds.
So do you feel like this principal here is being more receptive to you now because you've made her aware of past?
Yes.
But now, what about this teacher, his upcoming year with his teacher?
He will be with the same teacher he was last year
So
because
she already knows.
we're repeating. She already knows. She was the one there whenever he started to seize in December last year. That luckily she was a first responder, so she knew to take him out of his seat, get him onto the beanbag in the floor. The other kids left the room. You know, she knew what to do. But they still need more education and recognizing it, because not all seizures are on the ground convulsing or foaming at the mouth.
Sure.
Or you don't always lose consciousness.
Sure.
So they really need more education on the types.
What about Jalen? Is she able to carry on a somewhat normal life?
She carries on somewhat normal, and we try to keep it as normal for her as we can. She's still, you know, she has friends, and she goes and spends the night, and she does Girl Scouts and all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, sometimes she has to miss out on stuff because we have to do things with her brother.
Does her friend's parents know what her brother has?
They do. But
And are they, oh my God, I can't let my daughter go over there because of
No,
that? Or do they try to understand it?
they try to understand it. She only has the one friend that she really spends the night with and comes to our house to spend the night. They really try to understand it. Now, once they all get older, I feel like we'll have more of a problem with it, because they'll be, do I really want my teenage daughter going over to a teenage intellectually disabled boy's home? But for right now, we don't deal with that a whole lot from friends' parents. But when she gets older, I think we will. And I kind of get it. It's wrong, but I can see where they're coming from. So hopefully they'll let me educate them.
It's like a catch-22.
And talk to them instead of just pushing it away.
What about your family?
So
Are they discriminating against you? Or have they said, can I help you? Or what do you need? Or
we have a decent family. I will say, and even my husband can agree, Luke is treated differently by parts of the family. Certain people are still 100% behind him, his support system, all that. But then we have certain ones who don't have anything to do with him, really. They'll invite our daughter to go do something, but not him. They'll show up for her birthdays, but not his birthdays, type thing. And he's getting old enough to notice it.
So he's starting to realize,
Yeah. He's starting to realize that he gets treated differently. And we try really hard. We try not to treat him differently, but not everybody, parts treat him differently. And he gets left out a lot, unfortunately.
What do you and TJ do to lift some of this stress off of you?
If we have time and money, we try to go on like little weekend trips just together. Like we'll just go get a hotel room, just me and him, even though it's not far away, just somewhere. But that's really hard to do because there's one person who I have to really watch Luke. My mom he's comfortable with her, and she can watch him. She knows how to do his rescue meds, she's on top of it. She knows how to give his daily seizure meds, everything. My brother and his wife would gladly watch Luke, but part of Luke's intellectual disabilities is he struggles socially. So he struggles too to make relationships with family members. But even though my brother and them try, there's still a gap. But where they at least try to bridge the gap, a lot of the other family doesn't. And TJ's cousins, again, they would love to take him places, spend time with him, but they try to bridge that gap. And he's closer to them than anybody. So.
But people with epilepsy have their comfort zones, and they don't like to be drawn out of those zones. So is he that way?
He is. For a long time after his seizures, he stopped playing outside. He wouldn't play outside. He would freak out if I left, especially if me and his dad left. He stopped wanting to go to school. He stopped playing with his toys. He just sat for a long time. He didn't want to go to the store. He didn't want to go to the park and play. He didn't want to do anything. He wanted to stay home. But he's starting to kind of ease back out of that. So.
A lot of children, it's hard to get them to take medications.
Yeah.
So does he do good on that?
He does. It took a while. With his autism, he has a lot of oral aversions, so that really took some work. But his medication, we get flavored, and he's just kind of gotten used to it now. You have to. It's either we will literally have to hold you down and give it to you because it's life-saving. You have to have this. It's not Tylenol for a headache. And now he's gotten used to it. But it used to be we would about have to put him in a headlock and somebody else hold his legs and squirt it down his throat. But it's not that bad anymore.
how's Jalen handle that?
She usually just goes in her room, doesn't really want to see it much. She tries to help him when she can. She really tries, and she's a really good big sister. She really, really is.
She's real protective of him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that's good.
I got one more question I want to
Mhm.
ask you. People with epilepsy, especially children, have to be in hospitals a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a strange environment from a home. How do you deal with that?
We take a lot of items from home. He took his comfort bears. He took like his electronics, like his tablet. He took his favorite pillow. He took his blanket. We took food from home because, let's face it, hospital food's gross. We took a bunch of snacks. We took all kind of things. But it was constant having to entertain him the whole time, like with no break.
Yeah.
And that's hard because he's 6.
It's an environment you can't understand. So.
Yeah, and doctors make him nervous anyway. So with a doctor or a nurse coming in every hour or two, he gets back upset, and then he calms down, then he gets back upset.
All those leads on his head.
Yeah, he does not like that at all. He does not like the EEG. But we have to do it. so we just have to.
Sounds like you're doing a good job.
We try. It's hard, but we try. Any other questions?
No, I think we've covered most of them for right now until our next meeting.
Now that y'all done made me cry.
So this will conclude our meeting for tonight. If you have any questions, just reach out to us and let us know. We'll try to get back to you and answer what we can. Until the next point in time, we'll see you then. Thank you.
Thanks.